toxic products that contain labels on them in very small print that you sometimes can hardly see, that look like science projects. You want to stay away from these. These mess up your hormones the same way that bad food does. They mess up your hormones, they get down into your gut, they create bad gut bacteria. They can really mess up your system, and they're highly carcinogenic, causing cancer. We know that things like parabens can cause breast cancer, and they're so close to the breast when people use underarm deodorants that contain parabens. And so, same for many of the other products that are on the market, including, toothpaste with fluoride. They mess up the thyroid gland. Um, they cause an iodine deficiency. So we definitely want to look at what we're using on our skin, our hair, on our whole body. And so I'm going to go into that for you today. Hello, everyone. This is Karen Ranzi, holistic health coach since 1998 and director of the vegan certification course online at feelfabulouswithfood.com. I am here with you today because so many people have asked me, okay, we know a lot about whole plant foods. Now, can you tell us what about personal care products? What do you use and what do you recommend? Because what we're seeing out there is that even organic have other ingredients in them that are quite toxic. And if you're looking for something like underarm deodorant, there are parabens in a lot of common products. Parabens are known to cause cancer, and especially being under the arm and so close to the breasts. So we want to stay away from things like that. A lot of toothpaste today, even the so-called natural brands of toothpaste, contain ingredients like sodium lauryl sulphate, which is also toxic and carcinogenic. So what do we use? Do we use any products at all? Well, I really try to limit the amount of products that I use. So I use very little in the way of products. But when I do use a product, I want to make sure it's a really clean and ethical and cruelty-free product. So I buy from companies that are vegan, that are not using animals in any way to produce their product, not even for testing. So there's no animal ingredients in the products, and there's no testing on animals in the product. I want to start with a couple of the things that I use in my home. And I'm going to start with the laundry. So I used to think I was doing really well by using products that were mainstream ecological brands that said biodegradable on them. But I found that there were many toxic ingredients still in those products. So I had to stop using them. Now for my laundry, I use Eco Nuts. Some of you may have heard of Eco Nuts. Here they are, they're nuts. You can even see on the package that they are nuts. And I put 10 of them in a little bag that comes in this box. Most people don't seem to be aware of this. They're really cool. So this is the nut, and it's actually a berry. And it says that these odd looking eco nuts are actually dried berries from a tree that grows in the Himalayas. When agitated in water, they produce a naturally occurring surfactant called saponin. So these berries are commonly called soap berries or soap nuts because the fruit has a hard shell that resembles a nut. So this is really awesome. And I'll tell you something, I put 10 in a little bag and I put them in with my laundry. I do a full cycle of laundry and they come out smelling really fresh and clean from this very natural soap nut. So I highly recommend that for your laundry. Okay, so that's the first thing. They also have them now at Trader Joe's. I got these at my health food store about a year ago, and they were nowhere at that point that I could find them around my area. I would have had to order them online, but I didn't know about them until I saw them. Or actually, you know what? I did know about them from a woman where I did a book tour years ago in Florida, and she told me about them, and I thought that it sounded crazy. So I didn't even look them up. But I kept having these coincidences of running into these soap nuts, and then they finally showed up at the health food store I go to, and I got them. And now I saw that you can even buy them at Trader Joe's. So if you live anywhere in the United States and you have a Trader Joe's near you, this is a bag of wild harvested laundry soap nuts put out by Trader Joe's. So I'm super excited about these soap nuts. Next is washing your hair. A lot of times I just wash my hair with lemon. I squeeze lemon on my hair and water. So as I'm eating more and more raw food, I find that my hair is not greasy and I really don't need to use anything that's really heavy or especially toxic. Why would I want to put that stuff into my hair and near my scalp, which absorbs everything so quickly? And if you're taking a shower and you don't have a water filter on your shower, that's something else that you will want to think about, is getting a shower filter, because there is really no place that has clean water anymore. Drugs go into water, pesticides go into water. So you don't want to be just washing your hair or your body with tap water. And especially because what I just said about the scalp absorbing everything. And then there's shampoo. So what do you use if you do want to have shampoo? So if you're not like me and you don't want to just use something like lemon. So there are a few shampoos that are really clean. Now I have seen that in some shampoos, even at Whole Foods, even in the better health food stores, that there are still ingredients in the shampoos that you don't want to use. Things like wheat protein. I don't eat wheat, so I don't want to shower with wheat either. So there's wheat protein. There are things like cocamide, which is carcinogenic. Anything that you can not pronounce or sounds like a scientific term, you don't want to put in your skin because it gets absorbed very quickly. I've heard even like 60 seconds and it's in your bloodstream. So you really do not want those products. Now this product, Calia shampoo, Calia, is a very clean product for a shampoo and conditioner if you use it. I don't see anything in here that is toxic. There's some extracts from different flowers and leaves. There's clarisage oil and rosemary oil, but nothing that I see that's really harmful. So that's one shampoo that you could use if you want a shampoo, and it does foam. So even my husband loves it, who loves foamy shampoos. Honestly, if you are eating healthy plant-powered foods, whole foods, mostly or fully raw food, then you're not going to have a whole lot of body odor. If there are times when you feel like you do want a deodorant, there are some pure crystals that do not contain aluminum, that are unscented. You don't want fragrance in any of your products. I've seen even in natural products that fragrance is included. You don't want fragrance of any kind. You don't want any colorings. So this is just a pure crystal, and you can get these in most health food stores. Just make sure that it does not contain aluminum. I brush my teeth. Well, I do sometimes use earth paste from Redmond, and it contains water and bentonite clay and non-GMO xylitol and peppermint essential oil and tea tree oil. So it's pretty clean. It does have a warning on here, which I think that all of these kinds of products that don't include colorings or glycerin, or they don't include fluoride, that that there are still warnings on them, even if they include something like clay. So you just have to realize that this is a pretty clean product, even though it does say that, because I think they have to put these warnings on there. If you can go to somebody who makes their own handmade products, that's a good way to get some nice things. Like when I was just in Costa Rica, there's a lot of bugs down there. And so sometimes, like, I got bit up when I was watering the plants on our farm in Costa Rica. I got bit up by the fire ants. And so at the local Tina Mostes farmers market there's a lady who makes all of her own products, and she has this bug off. So when you see people who are using essential oils and vitamin E and calendula, this is a really nice, clean product. Mountain spring water, aloe, lavender, and a little bit of grapefruit seed extract. Nothing toxic in here. So this is what I used, and it really did help when I went into certain areas where there were fire ants. And so I look for these kinds of things that are made by hand. Also, for you ladies who want to use perfume, perfume is toxic. The perfumes that are made by companies that have chemicals in them. So I recommend, if you want to put on a perfume, get an essential oil like lavender. It smells wonderful. I love lavender, or lemon. I love lemon. I love that smell. So those are just one ingredient that you can just dab on your neck, and they smell beautiful, like a really nice cologne. For my teeth, baking soda. I brush my teeth with baking soda. Sometimes I use the earth paste that I show you, but a lot of times I use baking soda. There are some mouthwashes out there, but most of them have chemicals. I also got a really nice, clean, homemade mouthwash when I was in Costa Rica. So if you know somebody who has their own business making mouthwashes and toothpaste and sprays for cologne, and they're only using essential oils and natural ingredients without any chemicals, then that would really be the way to go. I don't have any more products to show you right now, but the last thing that I did want to say is that when you're doing work on your home, you must be very careful. You don't want to use VOC paints. VOC is volatile organic compounds. You don't want paint like that because you can get sick from the paint. So I get no VOC paint when I am painting. No volatile organic compounds. Also, we needed to have our floor done, our wood floor. Our kids had spent years rollerblading on the floor, and it was black and it really was pretty messed up. So we needed to hire somebody. And it was interesting that most of the floor and tile companies, when the people came to our house, the men did not want to do our floor because I would not do polyurethane, and I wanted it to be sandless. And so there are some people out there who will do these sandless floors where you won't have the sand all over the air. And we found somebody to do that for us, a gentleman who has a company in New York. He was willing to come to my home and do the sandless. And he was also willing to use a product that we found called Rubio Monocoat. It's just an oil. It doesn't have the chemicals in it that polyurethane has. I know someone who did his floors in polyurethane, and he was sick the entire following week. So you want to be careful not only with what you're putting on your skin, on your hair, your scalp, what you're breathing in the shower. So I recommend getting a shower filter, but you also want to be really careful with what you use in your home. I may do another talk on that in the future, but that's it for now. Thank you so much for joining me. Please subscribe here at Feel Fabulous with Food on YouTube. Follow me on Instagram at Super Healthy Raw. And if you're interested in getting further support on a healthy whole plant lifestyle, the information is in the description below. And same for my vegan certification course. I have a free masterclass that you may be interested in watching, all in the description below. Thank you again, and have a wonderful day.